I listened to your fantastic TED talk on the 7 beliefs that can silence women, which has really resonated with me. I'd like to share my 7 beliefs that can isolate women, which I carry with me. Number 1, you have to choose. Are you British or are you Pakistani? The constant question of where you are from, because you look a certain way, can be very frustrating. I'm British. No, where are you actually from? I was born and bred in London. Just to make that annoying conversation less painful, I would hastily add, but my parents are from Pakistan. And that final statement would put that topic very swiftly to bed. As women have the greatest child-raising burden, we feel the pressure of deciding what we should be bringing our children up as. Should they be more British or should they be more Pakistani? Despite being pushed to decide my affiliation, I soon discovered that I could be both. I did not need to choose. I'm a proud British Pakistani, and adopting the best of both cultures makes me the unique woman that I am today. Number 2, log kya kahenge? What will people say? I'm sure many of you who share a similar background to me will acknowledge that this is the most profound line which shatters the dreams of many women, worrying about what others will think of you. If you dressed in a more Western way, you were not a good girl. If you spoke your mind, you were too bossy. If you couldn't speak Urdu, you weren't Pakistani enough. If you couldn't cook, you were doomed and your marriage will fail. If you answered back, you'd be told to chup, which in Urdu means to stay quiet. Women should be seen and not heard. Growing up, I too faced the whole log kya kahenge rhetoric, but I also started to develop my own opinions and rebelled against not having my own identity and to become someone that I am not. Change in culture takes generations, but we have to start somewhere. Women, we have a voice. We have a choice. Number 3, you have to impress the Auntie Gs. These Auntie Gs are the gatekeepers for their perfect sons, and you have to get their approval before you can move on to the next stage of meeting their sons. Reflecting back on my childhood, although education was always strongly advocated, so was the prospect of the eventuality of getting married. In a South Asian culture, getting married and having children is the ultimate barometer for success. If you're not married, you're a failure. And unfortunately, that culture is still very much alive. How you dress, how you talk, how you look, what your skin tone is, even how long your hair is. These are all things the aunties in the communities would be judging and grading you upon. No one would really know what kind of person you are or what your aspirations were. It was all about the aesthetics. Number 4, don't get left behind the race. Getting a daughter married is a huge stress for South Asian parents. What if my daughter gets left behind the marriage race? For this very reason, parents start training their girls to appeal to these aunties so that they can choose them for their sons. I was trained too. Educated as a pharmacist and taught the necessary skills to be a homemaker and a good wife, my time had come when suitors started to walk through the door. It was a horrible experience where the entire family would come and see me and to see whether or not I was good enough for their sons without knowing a single thing about me as a person. But I had made my peace with the process, as this was how it was done. After many disappointing proposals, I felt extremely demoralized. Was this my worth? Was I really not good enough? I felt that I had failed in life. The thing that gave me the most comfort, though, was that my parents never pressurized me to say yes to anyone, which gave me a weird sense of empowerment and realization. I had a choice. I had a voice. My parents actually listened to me. After some time, I met my husband and I was able to tell my parents that they didn't need to look for a suitor for me any longer, as I had found one myself, and this had changed my life. My parents broke the back of the fear of me getting left behind by letting me have a say. Number 5, the woman is the queen of her home and has the power to make or break it. Women are the center of the home, a highly rated point in the Asian community. And for me, striking a balance between my career and home was very important to ensure a harmonious achievement of goals. Maybe it's my mother's voice, which constantly is in my head, that the woman is the queen of the house and she has the power to make or break it. That in itself is immense pressure. This builds guilt from the very start at a very deep level, holding you back from what you really want to achieve and want to do. The implications can be lifelong of misery and unhappiness. It's a huge weight to carry around with you. Women are told to focus on their children and their homes instead of their careers. And the ones that do often feel the guilt that their children are unintentionally being neglected. The majority of women I have seen from South Asian diaspora have shown to be confident, enterprising, tenacious, very career-driven, but then they get married. Should this really be the end of their career path? I wanted to be a great homemaker alongside having a career. After all, I studied 4 years to be a pharmacist. Couldn't let all that hard work go down the drain. Could I do both though? Would I be able to do both well? As I hadn't seen many women juggle both successfully. Something surely will suffer. These were the voices in my head. Number 6, you must expect competition and jealousy from other women. So feel women can be the biggest antagonists of other women. Pharmacy is predominantly a female workforce. However, I have found the men in my professional life more supportive than some of the professional women in my life. The competition between women is an endless battle. Jealousies and insecurities becomes a driver, which then can come out in a very passive-aggressive manner. If we as women started to nurture, support, recognize, and raise one another, not only would we be stronger as a gender, but we would be able to empower one another to be the best that we can be. Often we see men are given more opportunities, as that has been the status quo of society. Refreshingly, that has started to change. However, what I have seen at times is when opportunities are given to women, they choose not to take them as they prioritize their family life over their career, or because they do not have the support available to take up these opportunities. Number 7, there are plenty of opportunities for women in pharmacy to excel in their careers. Pharmacy, as I've said before, is predominantly a female workforce, and we are very welcome in this profession. But please, don't take the men's jobs. Women are taught not to be too ambitious and to be grateful for the positions that they get. Women have been encouraged to apply for promotions and often feel they may not be good enough for leadership positions. When a woman does excel and shouts about it, she is told she self-promotes too much and needs to tone it down a little. But when a man does it, he's applauded for his achievements. Women's contributions to the healthcare and pharmacy workforce are extremely valuable. Over 70% of the global health workforce are women, and by 2030, 72% of the global pharmaceutical workforce will be women. We deliver the majority of healthcare. That's huge. However, leadership positions within the healthcare arena, we only see 25% of women in these roles. We need more women sitting at the table, not only to reflect the representation of the workforce, but also to inform gender-inclusive policies and be the agents for change, as this can happen with both a supportive organizational and personal environment, making space for women to be part of the solution and not labeling us as the problem. I believe women should be given the same opportunities as men to achieve their fullest potential. We need to stop worrying about log kya kahenge, stop impressing the aunties, because in reality, there really is no race to be won. If women are the queens of the home, the man is the king, and in partnership, we can carry out these responsibilities together. Being from the diaspora is a strength and gives us the choice to adopt more than one culture, something we should be proud of, not ashamed. We need more women at the leadership table. Now is not the time to be chup. We need to empower and raise one another, because together we are stronger.